Hi, I'm Sandy with Lightning Tools, and I'm here again with Brett. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, doing well, thank you, Sandy. Yeah, back from my travels.
Yep, looking nice and tanned.
Thank you. And so you're still on your travels, right?
Yes, yes, I am. I'm in Vermont now.
Very cool. Good, good. Well,
It is cool. It
uh,
is cool.
yeah, yeah, temperature wise, I guess
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we had a mixture of weather as well. So we started off in Florida, where it was obviously baking hot. We managed to miss the storm Debbie,
Nice.
and headed up to North Carolina to Beach Mountain, which is quite bizarre because you can be in the nearest town, which is Banner Elk, at the bottom of the hill, and then you drive up a steep mountain, and it's like 10 degrees cooler.
Mm,
So
mm.
it's yeah, it's pretty nice being up there. But yeah,
Nice.
we then drove through Storm Debbie all the way to DC, which was torrential rain driving for
Mm,
7 hours, which was
uh,
not fun, and we missed out on a lot of scenery. But there we go.
mm,
All good, all good.
mm.
I guess is Vermont still near to or in the Appalachians? Because I know it goes all the way up that whole east coast, right,
Right.
from
Yes, I
Atlanta
guess I
to.
guess that's still called the Appalachians. There are different sort of mountain ranges, green mountains and white mountains and things,
But it's still
but like the
the same
Appalachian
range, yeah.
Trail goes kind
Hmm.
of through part of it. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're near the lake, near Lake Champlain, actually, but then there are mountains that start right up from there.
Yeah, fantastic. Good, good. Well, talking of mountains, so, I guess
Okay.
yeah, a mountain that a lot of people have to. Do you like that? A
What a
mountain that
segue.
people have to climb. Yeah, is yeah, looking at that the whole sort of security subject and
Mm,
around SharePoint and permissions and what have you. If you're looking, well, I mean, you should be looking at it anyway, but
right.
yeah, a big emphasis is also on Copilot. And if you're getting ready to introduce Copilot into your business, then yeah, permissions should be something that you really take a careful look at. Um,
Hmm.
Whether you're using our product DeliverPoint or not, it's something that you really do need to look at. I know Microsoft is also making some guides and things like that that you can go through in terms of how do you prepare yourself in your
Hmm.
organization for Copilot.
Hmm.
Um, because yeah, obviously one of the big challenges, I know that certain individuals have said it's no real difference from search. You know, we've always
Hmm.
had this problem. But the fact is that when you are doing a search, yes, it's an index search. But if you said, I want to look for financial information, for example, inside of the search results, it's going to match up those keywords and look for
Right.
content with those keywords in it. If you ask Copilot, tell me financial information about Lightning Tools or whatever
Hmm.
company you work for, it's actually going to figure out what you mean, and it's going to
Hmm.
return financial information even if it doesn't have those keywords in it.
Hmm.
So it's going to give you, yeah, um, potentially information that you should not be privy to. And even if you didn't intend to see that content, you
Hmm.
can't unsee it once it's displayed inside the results there. So yeah, it's quite critical, obviously, to make sure that the right people have permissions with inside the sites. And there's just all sorts of things that site owners are overlooking, and it's too overwhelming, time consuming for IT to go and visit every site and every list and library and every folder to make sure that the permissions are set correctly. What you're really looking at is, yeah, where's the everyone group been assigned and permissions, and what anyone sharing links do we
Right.
have, etc. So being able to try and find all of that content is just impossible, really.
Hmm.
So that's where DeliverPoint can help, and yeah, it's been able to produce reports on that for a long, long time now.
Hmm.
But yeah, we've made some headway into some new features that are just going to make it easier for you to produce those reports and look
Hmm.
at yeah, where oversharing and over permissioning has been occurring. But Sandy, do you want to talk through some of those new features
Sure.
and what people can expect?
Sure. So you just mentioned about the everyone group and the sharing links with anyone. So we have two new quick reports that do just that. So you have been able in the past, for example, if you do a discover permissions report on some scope within your SharePoint tenant, it you could filter by people who have been permissioned via the everyone except external users group. But it's just so much easier now with this new quick report where it's under reports and quick reports, and then it automatically will filter for all the different everyone groups. And if you have your own sort of everyone group, like we've found that some of our clients build themselves an everyone group, like all staff or something, that's maybe a little bit different from the built-in one. And you could add that to the filter then so that that also is included. And then you'll find it's already automatically grouped for you. And so it's easy to see where all, what sites, what lists, what items the everyone group has been permissioned to. And I find that comes up in our onboarding fairly frequently, that people are surprised to find what, because they didn't realize that that's what somebody was doing when they when they gave that permission to the everyone except external users, that they were really permissioning everything down the line also, if inheritance is still intact in SharePoint. And so even things that they thought they were giving permission to only certain groups, it still has the everyone group in there as well. And as you said, even if somebody in that everyone group didn't know that they were looking for something, if they use Copilot to just ask an innocent question, they might find things they weren't really looking for. And yeah, it is a much different matter of than knowing what you're trying to look for something or by accident finding something.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, exactly.
And then on the sharing links, it's really easy to, when you're sharing a file, for example, if you, for example, don't put in somebody's name there that you're sharing it with, that becomes an anyone sharing link, meaning that somebody has to be given the link, of course, to be able to use it, but anybody could be given that link, internal or external, and they'd be able to then access that content with that link. So again, you could see that before with DeliverPoint by running a sharing links report and then filtering for the anyone. But now we've added a quick report, so it's just one click to be able to get to that report, see the 4 or 5 filters that are set, because there are actually different anyone sharing links, and then see what all in that site or in that scope has been had an anyone link created. And all of those reports, both the discover permissions for everyone and the sharing links for anyone, those are actionable reports, which is also very key. So it's not just like an Excel file like you would get from SharePoint, for example, or from M365, but you can actually click on that row, for the sharing links and just remove that sharing link just with one click. So that's, I think, a key difference too with DeliverPoint, is how you can action right on the reports.
Yeah, even the scheduled reports as well. Yeah, like you say, a lot of the scheduled reports are Excel files, and yeah, you can see the information, but then it's going to be time consuming to navigate to that file or folder where the link is. So yeah, being able to see that dynamically on the page and remove it or copy or transfer the permissions between the accounts is really valuable. So, yeah, fantastic. So yeah, everyone links and anyone links, and we can run those at multiple scopes. So if you're a site owner, you could run it at your site, but equally you could span multiple site collections and so on as well, with those reports, which of course is really time consuming. And you can schedule those reports for other people. If you wanted to delegate that to the site owner, then that's also something that you could perform as well. So excellent. So yeah, we've got the 2 new quick reports, and then some of the other features really related also to sharing is the ability to manage the sharing options that you would typically see under site permissions in a site. So I know the Microsoft stance on this, which I tend to agree with, really is to when you're inside the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, you can set the permission options, and the sharing links can be set to most permissive or least permissive, and there's a couple of steps in between. But basically, the least permissive includes the ability to share with anybody, and this is something that you set at the tenant level, but then you can override it at the site level as well. But a lot of site owners wouldn't even think to check that they create a new site and start putting content in it, and they don't think about refining those options and maybe tying it down. But as we were saying, if you need to get a document to a customer or somebody that isn't in your tenant, and you're not able to share, if you've got the most permissive option with inside your site or across your tenant, you're going to get it to them somehow, because that's getting in the way of your business. So it might be that you download it and you send it via an email as an attachment. If Outlook doesn't allow you to do that, then you're probably going to use your Gmail account, or you'll stick into Dropbox or whatever and share it from there. And then you lose control of that. And it really goes against the idea of using a collaboration tool like SharePoint or Teams. So having least permissive is useful. However, the site as least
most permissive gives
most permissive. Yeah, sorry. You're right. But yeah, the idea being, I was thinking of the word restricted then. But the idea being that a site owner would then need to again make sure that they're tying that down. If the content is maybe confidential or sensitive, and they can use that appropriately. And then of course you've got labels and things like that you can also use that some organizations don't use yet, but that's also going to help you with what can be shared and what can't be. So yeah, DeliverPoint is really helping out in that regard now. What we don't want to do is go and look at the site properties of every single site, so you can now do that in bulk. From the tree view, you can select multiple site collections. You'll see all of those on one page, and you can go through each one and enable or disable the sharing options and who can share. And then the unique object permissions as well. You can have a look at everything that has broken permission inheritance and include those labels that I mentioned in there. So it might be that you're able to find content that hasn't been labeled that does contain sensitive content, and have the awareness of that and dig in deeper as to who's got permissions and what sharing links exist on that content. So some great new features there, and I think I was speaking over you a little bit there. Sandy, is there anything that you?
Well, another new feature, I don't know if it's necessarily completely related to oversharing and things, is that we're adding the ability to manage group memberships. So in the past, again, this is something that you could do if you knew what you were doing on the what DeliverPoint could do before, but now it's easier to see what all groups a person belongs to over a scope, and then be able to change their permissions, maybe switch out somebody, put them in, replace that user in those groups with somebody else. Maybe that might be, a vacation scenario, or somebody taking on a new role kind of scenario. As long as your account, again, everything that DeliverPoint does is in the context of your account. So as long as your account has the permission to do that, to manage the members of those groups, then you can manage them through the DeliverPoint UI now.
Yeah, and that's really nice, because I think before we were able to search on or run reports within the context of a user, see what groups that user is a member of. But our options in terms of removing those permissions, you might find a document, for example, or a site, and say, yeah, this user should not have permissions to that content. So I'll remove the permissions, and you had the checkboxes that said delete the direct permissions, or also remove from any SharePoint groups. But the fact is, you might not want to take them out of every SharePoint group. You might be okay with the fact they're in the visitors, but not in the members. So this gives you a lot more granular control over what groups people are in, and being able to control that appropriately. So good. So some great new features rolling out, and we're going to be showing these next week. So on the 22nd of August, that's soon come around. But we'll be doing a session about preparing for Copilot and how DeliverPoint can play into that and really help you to clean up the permissions before you roll Copilot out. So
Great.
If you're not registered, feel free to register. You can find the details on our website, lightningtools.com. It's there on the homepage. And just get yourself registered. If you can't attend the actual date time, sign up anyway, and then you'll be able to watch the recording once it's out. So,
okay, sounds good.
Yeah, perfect. Well, great to catch up. It's been a little while.
Yes, it has been.
Yeah, hopefully we'll stick back to some momentum now
Yeah.
with these videos. Now all of our vacations are out of the way.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Well, take care, Sandy, and thank
Thanks,
you
you
everybody
too.
for watching.
Yep, and see
Bye.
you at the webinar.
Sounds good.
All right, bye.